guys, nice to see you today.
Hello.
Yes, now we can see a big concert, but we want to know more about you.
Alright.
Tell us please about your experience, about how was about your age. When did you start to dance? Can you tell a little about
Sure, I can do a resume.
your
Yeah,
past
sure.
of experience of dancing, please?
Okay, sure, go ahead.
Okay, so I started when I was about like 7, 8, and I tried like every kind of dance style, but then I just stick to boogie. So I've been dancing boogie since then, and from boogie to lindy, and ta-da! Here I am.
And what first styles did you start? You told that you started with ballet.
Yeah.
What was the first?
Yeah, my very first was ballet.
Oh, ballet.
Yeah, but really short time. It's not my thing. And then
Is it months
like,
we're talking about? Weeks?
Months.
Months.
Yeah, but then I did hip hop, street dance. I went disco dance, and I was in a dance show group, so we were doing every kind of style. But then I just decided to stick to boogie. So that's it.
I started when I was, let's see here, 9. I started with the traditional dance boog. I don't know if you heard about it, but it's the thing in Sweden. It's a swing dance. It's called boog. It's B-U-G. Yeah, it's the thing. Anyhow, I started there. I started when I was 9, as I mentioned. In do you call it physical education? You know, in school when you have to like do sports and stuff in school.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyhow, so my friend, he had his stepdad who wanted me to start dancing because he was my friend and his stepdad was a dance teacher at a school. So he brought his father to the physical education to teach boog. And at that time, at 9 years old, I didn't do much. I tried like ice hockey. It's not my thing. I tried soccer. It's not my thing. What else? Oh, I did like, what do you call that when you run around with a map in the forest and like to try to find shit?
Not hiking, but
No, you know what I mean. Anyhow, that wasn't for me.
scout.
No. Anyhow, I tried a lot of things. So at that time, the teacher came to the school. He set up a competition, of course. So there was a small class about how to dance boog. So everybody got to learn that ish, except Nils. He wasn't really good at knowing which leg was the right leg or left, for that matter. So I started there. I won the competition, which was basically my friend's decision, because once again, as I mentioned, my friend's stepdad was the teacher that came, right? So he's like, make it swim so you can start dancing. I think so. He never revealed that, but I think that's the case. Anyhow, I went to the school a couple of weeks after with my sister, who also wanted to like start dancing. Did that, and then I started dancing. All kinds of stuff. Boog, I did salsa, I did ballroom dancing, as well as the Latin American, the cha-cha, the whole shabam. Double boogs, you have 2 follows. Yeah, a bit of everything, and then I ended up with doing lindy boog. That's pretty much it. Yeah. Go on.
You told that you tried lots of your different styles, but still, why it is so special for you? Why?
It's gonna come to music. It's music. It's the way that music makes me want to move, and I want to learn how to move to it, I guess. Because that's what made me stay. As well as when I was younger, I watched a lot of YouTube, so I could see like, oh, what is that about? Oh, that's so cool. And I was like, I want to learn that. We're gonna learn it, and well, here I am.
Yeah, it's music too, and I remember just the practices and the shows. In boogie, they were much more fun than every other hip-hop competition or everything. I just wanted to do that, and also it was getting good. I was getting good in hip-hop, so they wanted me in this Italian national team, but they wanted me and my partner in the boogie team too. So I could not like do both because it was too much. I had school too, so. So I just had to decide, and I decided boogie, but happily. It wasn't sad about the hip hop. It was almost relieved. Yeah.
So cool. Do you still think about to start to dance hip hop again or not?
No, thank you.
No, I mean, I have some back. Yeah, sure. As I mentioned, I danced salsa before. I still like kind of go back to Cuban Latin music from time to time, and like my family's still into that kind of music. And I like it happens, you know, when you have family parties, it ends up like you know what I'm talking about, like early in the morning. And like the whole Cuba family all of a sudden appears from nowhere. Everybody's Swedish, but everybody just becomes Cuban for 5 hours straight. And it's just Latin music throughout. And salsa inspired, I guess. So I mean, I still like the music and I like dancing it. So I kind of go back once in a while, sure.
So we want to know more about your preparing for competitions. Do you have special strategy for that? What do you do before to take part in competitions, please?
We social dance a lot, even at practice. It's a lot about social dancing. So normally we don't use competition music, especially before a competition, because that kind of stresses us. So we use like other kind of music, of course still danceable. It's not like we're dancing salsa at the parties at Andrén's house. Yeah, but yeah, so we social dance a lot because that makes us feel a little bit more calm, I guess. And yeah, sometimes we come up with new stuff, and then of course we need to practice it, so we do all over it again, all over, many times. But that's it, we don't prepare so much.
No, I'm sorry, I wish I had a good strat that I could share with you guys, but I mean, no strategy really. I mean, things that inspire us in general, I think, right? Would you agree with that? Yeah. Like old clips, old dance clips, as well as music that we like. Not necessarily, I mean, we could like modern music, sure, but still stick to the boogie subject, so we still have, probably go with the rhythm and blues tunes. Apart from that, yeah, social dance. It's usually what the good things that come out of us is usually based on inspiration and feeling rather than have to do certain things, and yeah.
But of course we have goals, so that in some competition we're like, okay, this time I want to make this thing good. So of course then we would practice that, as I think everybody would do. So do until it's perfect. That's
Strategies?
it. No,
I guess that is
I mean,
a strategy in a way.
yeah. But I mean, we're in this kind of music bubble all the time, so we listen a lot of music all the time. So it's not really like for the competition something extra. It's like, yeah, I'm sorry about it. No strategy, guys.
Question for our students in Hot Boogie Club, for example, if they want to take part in competitions, what should they do? So should they just listen music, go for social dance parties, or what else they can do for preparing?
I think you should find the reason why you should dance. Why you're dancing? That would be one. Is it because you just want to win? Yeah, well, sure. Then I think you should go exactly for perhaps what rule says. Otherwise, just go with the flow. I mean, we dancing because we think it's fun, and I think that's the only thing that really drives us. And if that leads to a first place, well, that is great. Yeah. But it's not necessarily that we like first place, perhaps.
And for the students, I would say put up a goal or several goals, which doesn't mean it has to be like I need to win tomorrow. So put up small goals and try to reach them. So practice on those goals, and you will just become better and better until you will be able to say, okay, my last goal is to get the gold, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
this microphone.
Yeah, I know it's gonna be a thing. No, because I think that it's important, as Bianca said, that it's you find like the partial goals, like semi goals, until you reach the big one. You can have the big one as I want to be. Let's go with world champion. Let's say world champion. But if that's your only goal, it's gonna be really tricky. But you're gonna have to find levels that you have to reach before you get there. You know what I mean? If you're building a ladder, yeah. If you know those, you have to have those sticks to be able to reach the top, right? So if the first one is I gotta nail my basic perfectly. That is one. Boom. You cannot jump. I'm sorry. You know, you could try, but you're probably not gonna make it. You know. So if you can find those sticks, right, you're probably gonna make it. So S, doing basic, finding good ways of dancing on beat, having fun with your partner. It's eventually gonna escalate to find that last part of the ladder.
You talked about ladder. Do you have the same ladder now? Can you see steps one by one? What do you want to do for future, your goals?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I set up a little bar. Bar? Okay, he knows better. Like every month or something, like I feel like I always have new things I want to do and I want to be able to do. So yeah, but I mean, I'm still far and I think I will never reach what I really want to be. You know, I am always like, yeah. So I'm happy I will never reach, because that means I will just try and try and try until it just gets better, I hope.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, you want to reach it, but at the same time you don't want to reach it. Because when you reach it, what are you supposed to do?
Put up a new bar.
I guess in a way, but I mean, if you reach that top bar, you're like, now what? So, but it usually just keeps being a taller bar. It's just gonna be, just keep rising. You know, when you get to that one, okay, this is gonna be my next one, perhaps. But that keeps us going, right? That we usually never reach it. We just find those semi goals away along the road, I guess, in a way. Does that make sense? Yeah.
And one more question about competitions. When you take part in competitions, when you come and show us your show, looks like you have preparing or not preparing. Can you explain what do you have in your mind while you're showing that show? Do you have just already prepared parts or just all improvisation? How it looks in your mind? It's interesting for us.
Well, not much in the mind.
No, it's not a lot of things.
It's just really chaos, basically. But yes, when we have prepared small 8s, like 4/8 sequences that we have practiced. But then at the competition, it's like really on the moment. I mean, if the music sounds like, okay, let's do that, then we will know and we will do the prepared part. If it feels like, okay, I'm totally going to improvise this because I don't feel to do the other one, then we improvise. So it's really at the moment, that's why our mind is really empty. It's just like, I will know just there at that moment, in that second of the music, but not before.
Yeah, empty is good. Empty is usually good. The more I think, the worse it gets.
Especially you're really empty.
Yeah, I try to be empty, if that makes sense. Because the more I think, the less emotions I can bring into my dancing. You know what I mean? I want to feel, and I want that to transmit to my actual movements. And I don't want to think what I'm supposed to do, because supposed doesn't really necessarily exist. It's only you who can decide what it's supposed to be. You know what I mean? And it's a bit philosophical, perhaps, but we try to don't prepare as much. Try to keep it scaled off, in a way.
Your special style. Yes, we want to know, how do you find your special style? Do you know some person that maybe already in nowadays dancers, maybe you like them and you just want to take that style for you?
Okay. At the moment, yes, he's still alive. I'm not sure for how long though. His name is Gil Brady. Have you seen Rip It Up movie? Bill Haley? Never mind. YouTube it. It's the guy with the glasses. You will notice him. He's probably my main source of inspiration. So he was a dancer back in the 50s as well as 40s, and was in a couple of movies. And he's my main source of inspiration for boogie. So he's the guy I'm trying to like see what he's doing and see what I can do with it, perhaps. Yeah.
Yeah, like how to find your style. I think you just need to know what you want and then make something out of it. And of course, I also have inspiration and I watch the clips. I don't really have like some specific person as Nils have. Like he is really like on that person, yeah. But yeah, I watch a lot of clips and I have periods. Like I really have periods I like more something, and other periods I like more something else. So that's it.
Whatever has influenced you.
Yeah. And of course I have like dancers nowadays that I watch and I love. So, okay, so right now I'm in love with Chansey. You know Steven and Chansey from LA? Yeah, she knows. I told them. And then there are like, boogie wise, I don't know. I've been watching, I don't know if you saw it, but it went viral. It's a video of this old couple from Germany. They're so cool. I love her so much. So I can like watch whoever.
Have in your memory special moments in like fun or so cool that you remember that happens with you in dancing experience, I mean?
I think our first competition at Camp Hollywood, I still like when I think about it, it was a jam, so it was Lindy Hop. It was a jam and the finals, and people was just like crazy. I was shocked because I thought it would be a normal competition, but it was like people were doing really their best, and they did really great. And also like the audience were supporting everybody really nice. And the band, I just get the goosebumps thinking about it. So, did I say goosebumps?
Yeah, you probably say goosh.
I meant goosebumps. I goosebumps. Okay, yeah, so that is a great moment I got. Or like, sometimes I start to cry, not cry, but I get emotional at competitions when I see like people dancing.
But that is lately. You're getting old.
I'm getting old, yes. So I kind of get emotional, I cry, or like if I stand and watch the band a little bit and it's really good, I also cry. So those are beautiful moments I remember. Do you have something?
Yeah. I was thinking about the Swedish championship, the last one, like lately last year. It was this year. Was it?
Some months ago.
Oh my God. Time flies. I really thought it was last year. I'm sorry. Anyhow, yes, I think that was great, especially the slow round. I mean, we had a nice moment up top on that. Nice. That's probably a special one. I don't know why it kind of just clicked. And when we went out on the floor, usually you have like couples like one at a time in the final, right? And then eventually it's your turn. But when we entered, it was completely like empty in my head. I was like, this is gonna be good because when I know it's completely a blank in my head, I usually know that it's kind of probably end up pretty good. But usually when I enter and I have a lot of thoughts. So that was real, yeah. And then like everything kind of worked for us, and it felt really good and like real. It didn't feel like we put up like necessarily now we're performing necessarily. No.
we just signed up for some competitions at Rock That Swing, and the audience were supposed to vote by clapping. And we didn't expect anything, and just when we came out, like, the crowd was really loud, so that was a special moment. But now we just talk about competition. But I think a special moment, really fun, is when we first danced. but we don't. You don't want to see the video. But it was good. It was good for us. But it's better that people do not look at it. Yes.
Yeah, I think it's
That's awkward.
So we are curious. What do you think about Ukraine, about Kiev? Do you like it? Would you like more? And so.
People is quite welcoming, as far as I know, as far as I've met. I mean, as far as we saw. So in that way, I really that's really like welcoming, and that's the first thing that I like caught my mind when I got here. Yeah, what like that, I think that is one of the ones that like.
We haven't seen the city because we always fell asleep in the car. Sorry. And we haven't had the time to visit the city. But come on, you guys are crazy. It's like, what was yesterday? Yesterday, I never been like in a party like that. It was like.
The crazy boogie Jack and Jill.
I know. I thought to write a text to my mom because she asked like how's it going, and I wanted to like explain and describe, but I had no words. It's like it was just crazy. Yeah, that too, and no monsters and background dancers. Yeah, it was interesting, but it was fun. Classes were good. People are really sweet. In class, they were really nice. So that's what we experienced, basically, party and class. Not so much of the city.
I want to say thank you for such nice and interesting interview, your answers, and so fun and smiley faces. You're so good and fun and cool people. So I hope that you will come more and more times to our city.
We probably will. Time will tell. Time will tell, probably. Probably. I would say most likely.
Thank you so much for asking us, and we made our first interview done. Yeah.